Hello everybody, and welcome to Star Technology. So a few things before we get started. I have chosen to go into this pack completely blind, as I feel like that would give the viewer the most authentic experience watching me struggle. So all I really know about this pack is that it has the GregTech, and it's a skyblock, and we have a few other, like I know creates in here, but I don't really know too much, but this is not my first GregTech pack, so I'm hoping it does not go that badly. So without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, it looks like we do have FTB Ultimine. Oh yeah, make my life a whole lot easier. Now I'm assuming the quest book is going to guide us through everything, and we are going to turn off channels. I don't really want to deal with that. I do have cheats enabled on this world just in case something happens, as when I played Moni Factory, I definitely wish I had that setting on in my world. Now, another thing is I will think I'll be doing world downloads every 5 or 10 episodes for this. If not, then I'll do one at the end of the series, just like Moni Factory, but we'll see whatever you guys want. Let me know in the comments. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Let me go ahead and keep going. A whole bunch of information. If you guys are playing the pack, y'all will be able to read this. And it looks like, oh yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff to go through. And it looks like create as well, which I'm kind of excited for. So it looks like it's just going to be a typical X-Nilo start. But there is definitely a lot here, so I do have to collect my bearings. But it looks like the first thing it wants me to do is make a crook. Tell me, do we have shifting? Yes, we do. See, this is not my first skyblock, but I'm not a big fan of skyblock, but I am a big fan of GregTech, so I'm hoping that I'll really like this pack. Because like I love GregTech. GregTech is really fun. All right, so I'm gonna craft my first pieces of wood, and if I'm not mistaken, a crook is probably made just with some sticks. Yes. Then I'm assuming from there, I just got a crook on the leaves. Yep. And then we get some silkworms. See, I've done this before. This part's not new. So I think I'm gonna do this a few times here. I'm gonna get rid of a lot of crooks here because I would like a lot of string. I'm assuming we want a lot of string. Alrighty, so I'm gonna say that's probably good. I'm not not gonna worry about getting that many more silkworms. This should probably last me a hot minute. Now I am curious, how much dirt do I have here? Because I would like a bigger island. I'm assuming that comes at some point, but it has not come yet. So just like every other skyblock pack, I'm assuming I just place the silkworms here on this, and that'll infest. And I got a whole bunch, so I mean, yeah. Should be good here. I might want to plant more than one. I don't know. Anyway, so now as soon as these are all infested, I think I just crooked them. I probably should not have thrown those crooks away. I just crooked them, and then I get string. That's pretty much it. And then I complete another quest. And from here, yeah, see, there's so much going on here, and I don't exactly know where I want to go first. Anywho, let's go and get some string here. That got me a good amount. Okay, I'm hoping that'll last me a while. So the string meshes, it just looks like 9 pieces of string. And then I need a sieve. I'm assuming it just goes something like this. Now, what do I put in here exactly? I see. I need to, yeah, that's what I gotta do. This is pretty easy. I do like this mechanic. Especially if you have like a macro going on. Yeah, I am a fan of this mechanic. For cobblestone, I'm going to need to grind down into gravel and then put through the sieve. And then that will give me a whole bunch of resources. All right, so I'm just going to get as much as possible. And I'm assuming a hammer is made. No, that's a pickaxe. I will make a pickaxe, but how does one make a hammer? Just like that. So now I'm assuming I place down a whole bunch of cobblestone. Does it work like that? Yes, it does. Oh man, that's going to be annoying, but I am going to have to do it. So I think probably what I want to do, see, it's kind of dark out. Is there a way I can get a sleeping bag? Oh, wow, look at that. So, I mean, that's a pretty good amount of ores, I feel like. And also, ooh, I can spend my coins places too. What can I even spend them on? I can get fortune stuff. See, this seems pretty, pretty cool. I can get starting gear, charcoal. Oh my gosh. See, look at all this. This is probably what I'm going to save up for. But, I mean, a starter, see, this I'm going to get first, I think. So, oh yeah, look at that. So I get a whole backpack. Are you serious? So next up, I think what I'm going to want to do is I'm definitely going to want a crucible of some kind to start getting water. Because I don't know when it's gonna rain. I'm really gonna need a crucible. I think I probably just want 2 of them. Really, actually, I didn't need to make any more of these. In fact, I could start smelting up some stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on getting a whole bunch of materials. So it looks like I get sulfur and redstone from crushing down dust. Yeah, so it looks like I'm gonna need to crush down a whole bunch of cobblestone. This is gonna get a bit tedious, but I must do it. This is part of the pack, so, I mean, yeah. And I think I can also duplicate dirt with gravel like this if I put coarse dirt into here, which I wish it wasn't so slow, but we did just generate 3 dirt, so at some point we're gonna wanna automate that. All right, so I totally just realized I can turn saplings into water. Didn't know that. That's going to take a hot minute. I wish I had known that earlier. So, I don't know if I heat them up, will it go faster? Uh-oh. So I have a bit of a plan. I am going to use create for this. So if I have a water wheel here, right? I think you guys are getting where I'm putting here. One of these wooden barrels, right? We can go ahead and automatically fill it with water if we grab some copper. And it looks like I'm going to need more iron for this. Do I have any more gravel? I do. Hold on. See, I do get the feeling I'm not going to enjoy this part of star technology, but it's a part of it. It's a part of it. You guys may be wondering also where I got these 3 iron plates from. Well, let me tell you, I actually had all of this set up already, but I forgot to hit record. So I'm doing it again. I had all of this set up, but I wanted to show you guys. So I am going to go ahead and do all of this again. Like I said, I think, why not? But what I'm going to go ahead and do is I've already made a whole bunch of andesite alloy. I can go ahead and if I grab some of this, I go ahead and make some of you. I go ahead and turn these into casings. I can go ahead and I can make, what are they called? A mechanical press, a depot, and I should also be able to make a hand crank, right? So I can go over here. See, you guys, this is probably like common knowledge for star technology. But I'm thinking, hold on. Why would I bother making create stuff? We're not create stuff, GregTech stuff. We're not going to automate it with just create, and it's pretty much free. Don't have to worry about anything too complicated, right? So I get some copper plates. I go ahead and I make some pipes, and I should be able to make some like cog wheels going on here. Yep. My brain is going in supercharged mode. I get a mechanical pump and then also a water wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and put my water wheel just right here. Have a cog wheel here, mechanical pump here. So that should be getting water. I can go ahead and get it into this guy here. And then that should now be getting water. Yes, perfect. And then another thing I can do is I can go ahead and I can make some chutes. See, you guys thought, or I thought GregTech bested me here because you can't make hoppers normally in GregTech. You can't make hoppers in GregTech, but you can make chutes with create. So I'm going to make a really, really jank setup for soaking. So now I can put whatever I want in here. So we're going to want to automate witch water, which is pretty easy. We just need mycelium spores, which I do have. This you just get from sifting down the mud. So what I can do is if I go ahead and get another pump here, that should go. Get this guy here. We're going to change you to barrel transformation, and that should be making witch water, maybe soaking. Nope, definitely transformation. This just has to catch up. Yes, and now I'm making witch water perfect. So, and also what I can go ahead and do, I feel like I should speed this up. Which I am definitely going to go ahead and do. Awesome. So that should be going at double the speed now. You are making me witch water. I need this to go into another barrel soaker. See, guys, look at me. Look at me. I'm so happy with myself that I'm automating on the first day. We're passiving. And I can have this, if I go here, that can go here. And now we have witch water stuff on passive, and I can put just a cobblestone in there, and it will make me blackstone, which is used for a whole bunch of stuff, according to the quest book. According to the quest book in this mod pack. So I have witch water on passive, and I have this on passive, which I should probably go ahead and get something like this going on. Boom, boom. So now, if I were to soak something like, I go ahead and crush all this up. If I were to soak mud, I could now do it semi-automatically, just putting dust into here, and that should soak and turn into clay. Now, I know it looks terrible. It's atrocious, and I do want to turn that sound off. But now we have witch water on passive, and we have the soaking on passive. So now I do have to somehow get a hammer, and this way I can make a bucket and then complete that quest, which I really didn't want to have to craft an iron bucket for. But, it is what it is. And now I should be able to take some of this and complete that quest. Wonderful. Wonderful. And now I can also make blackstone, which I'm already like out of cobblestone. Not a good thing. I don't want to be out of that, but I can also do this. Put cobblestone in here. You should... Oh, we already made the blackstone. So now I can make an aqueous accumulator, and I'll no longer need this jank setup. But I'm going to need a lot of blackstone for that. So I think it's time for a bit of a grind. Yeah, for sure. I need to expand my platform a bit, and this is not... Definitely, this is not going to be the permanent setup. It's day one. Bear with me. But I do need a lot more space, and I'm going to need a lot more resources. So it's time for a bit of a montage. Alrighty, so I mean a whole bunch of stuff later. I know what I want to work towards next. I want to try and get the large stone barrel. This way I can get lava. Right? This I think is the next road to go. So we're gonna need a whole bunch of coke brick, which how does one get this? A lot of sand and a lot of clay. You know, how hard is it to get some crushing wheels? Well, we need brass. It may not be too bad. It may not be too bad. So now I was on a mission to get crushing wheels. Yes, we have our crushing wheels. Oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna make more than one of these. I feel like that'll be a good investment. Oh yeah, look at this, perfect. I didn't think we'd be able to get this today, but here we are. We have some crushing wheels. Now obviously they're not on, and I would like them to have max RPM, so I'm gonna need a whole lot more water wheels, which means we're gonna need to expand out quite a bit. And this snow is starting to really bother me. I'm gonna make a bed. All right, and that should hopefully clear that. Starting to really get tired of that. Anyways, look at this. We have a little mechanical crafter setup. I don't need this on all the time, to be honest. And I could go ahead and have this turned back on, making me plates. Sweet, sweet. I feel like we're making so much progress today. I'm having a blast. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to expand out this way more. I want a pretty decent sized platform because I think I'm going to have probably just a create workshop over here. I think that'll be a good idea for the starter thing going on. And then I think next episode, we'll probably work on actually getting something that's not jank set up, an actual home, a home to call home. Yes, a home to call home. All right, check this out. I think this is plenty of room. I'm also going to go ahead. So I'm going to need a whole bunch of water wheels for this. I know that for a fact. So yeah, a lot of water wheels are going to be necessary. So gonna get my water wheels all in here. Yep, gonna have to make sure that these don't go ahead and freeze up. That's gonna be really annoying. Now I can go ahead and start speeding this thing up to max speed, which I think that is. It may or may not be. I can't tell. I can't make anything gold related yet, so I can't make goggles or wrenches or anything. We'll get there, but this should be max speed, and I hope I hope I can run some crushing wheels on this. So with the help of some chutes, I should be able to go ahead and make a 3 crusher setup. Now, it probably doesn't need to be 3 crushers yet. I'll probably be able to get away with just one, but I am going to need a chute anyway. And now, look at how fast I can make iron plates. Oh yeah, that's definitely back speed. No rotational speed controller necessary. So yeah, I don't know if, can I make smart chutes? I may be able to. It looks like I actually can, which is why I am going to do that. Awesome. So 2 smart chutes. I want to go ahead and have my crushing wheels just right here. And then these, I believe, just need to have some gearboxes. So one of these won't have a gearbox. I'll go ahead and set it up like so. Awesome. Now I believe that's doing what I wanted to do. I'm now going to have another smart chute on top with the barrel up here. And that should be the automatic crushing of whatever I want. Oh yeah, look at that. And it's running at maximum speed. So I'm going to go ahead and test this out. Do I have anything I might potentially want to crush? Sure, let's go ahead and crush down the gravel into sand. Love it. Love it. And the sand into dust. I think I can do that. Yes, I can. Oh my gosh, look at that. So now I'm just going to set up everything else that I have here. Now, come on. You guys didn't really think I'd go episode 1 without a starter house, did you? I know I said I was going to do it next episode, but I lied. I was testing all of you because if you guys know me, you know it is pretty much tradition at this point for me to build a starter house on the first episode of whatever series I'm doing. And I don't think Skyblock is exempt from that. No. So while we do have our little workshop here, I definitely want to get a little starter house going. So I have a plan. I do have a plan, but bear with me. It's going to be a bit of a montage. So I started by placing a giant dirt platform that would in the future transform into what I'm thinking a floating island. But here's where I got really carried away. So, yeah. But originally was a plan to make a little starter house. Turned out to be something a little bit more of doing a whole bunch of progression. But we have made so much progress. I mean, not really too much. It was really just a lot of early game stuff. The reason I actually did all this was because I wanted to get bricks at a really fast rate. And for that, I needed this large barrel. And I also invested in this kiln and for making wrought iron. I can make these buses because they're actually they're kind of expensive for me right now, simply because of rubber. Which let me go ahead and show that off as well. So I made this nifty little centrifuge thing from Create Vintage, which is pretty much just the Create GregTech machine. It's just a centrifuge, right? I sent rubber pulp through here. Or not rubber pulp, sticky resin through here to get rubber, and then that's what all this is for making rubber sheets. And that way we can make ULV machine casings and also input and output hatches and buses, which is, we're going to need a lot of that for automation. But we'll do a lot of the automating, I think, next episode. And I also have 4 of these Fortune string mesh sieves now, which has come in really handy, let me tell y'all. Yeah, so that is how things have gone. I also have a lava fan here now. We're doing pretty good. I'm happy with the progress I've made, but now, and no, I don't know if the snowy taiga is like by default the default biome. It's very unlucky. I really don't like the snow, and I'd rather not deal with the snow. And in the shop, I can turn it off. But anyways, we do need to make that house. So I've been gathering up a whole lot of bricks, and now that I think about it, I think I need a bunch of wood as well. I did not do that. You know what? Give me 1 second. I should have done that. So I actually completely decided to change up the way I was building, and I do have an image, a reference image that I got from Google that is getting my inspiration for this house, because actually I'm not that great of a builder. But if one wants to get better, one must look at something and try and recreate it. So I have tried to do that, but I'm going to show the image. I'm talking about it right now. And I really liked this specific one because it gave floating island vibes, which is exactly what I'm going for and what I want to try to do for my beginning area. Oh my goodness, this took me, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think around 6 hours to build. Way too long, and the attic doesn't look very nice. That's fine, the attic's not supposed to look nice. But the reason it took me so long is because, well, I changed the design like 3 times. Like, originally I wasn't gonna go with this at all, and then I changed some other stuff up. Like, over here was kind of a different color tower, but I ended up not really liking it, and I ended up sticking with something like this. Now I'm kind of proud of myself, because while I did get a heavy inspiration for this from that image I showed you, I tried to do most of it like by myself. I didn't really want to copy and paste everything. I kind of took the style and color palette and put it onto the house. There are a lot of differences from the image that I showed you guys, which, like I said, I really want to get better at building, specifically roofs. And I'm proud to say that I did this roof on my own. Not that you can really see it. Give me a second. And yes, I took the style of the roof, but this roof was completely original. Man, it really doesn't look that great now that I'm looking at it. It's a work in progress. It's not a work in progress. It's done. But my building skills are definitely a work in progress. So, I'm proud of myself. While I did not, it's not like a super original idea, it's a step in the right direction. And at some point, we're going to make this a floating island. Yeah, and I want to have a little farm island next to it because it looks like a bit of a, I would say cottage, but no, it's way too big for that. Whoever lived here is rich. Anywho, so I have got to move all my stuff into there. Really, there's a lot we have to do, but I'm so excited. I'm hoping we'll see how long this starter base lasts us. Moni Factory, I think it lasted us like 2 episodes. 3 episodes? Something like that. Anyways, unfortunately, that is all the time I have for today. So if you guys did enjoy today's episode of Star Technology, I'm going to have to get used to saying that. Like I said, I am out of time, so hopefully you guys enjoy this new series. I'm so far having a blast, and we're only on the first episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you are enjoying my content. If you want to see more, hit the like button. It really helps me out, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Star Technology. Later!